Good day, ma'ams and sirs, and welcome to the Number 9 with Tommy podcast, a show that started years ago. It's been through tales of woe and cheers of bros. We've had vacations planned for like 2 weeks straight, which our adoring fans, the Niners, clearly hate. Please stop sending hate texts. Please stop threatening Tom's health. Without the star of our show, I'd have to name it something else. We're back in the saddle, and we're here with you live, ready to dodge, dip, duck, dodge, and dive. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys and dolls, socias and squares, greasers and geezers, young hearts and old farts, blacks, whites, gays, straights, Dems and Republicans, TikTokers, hip-hoppers, people who love rock operas, trendsetters and shock toppers, honest folks and liars alike, peace seekers and those of you trying to fight. From the coolest people we know, right down to the biggest nerd, we welcome everyone to the show, except Amber Heard. Tommy fucking Washington, what's been up, man? How are you?
Pat, I am living the dream, buddy. Living the dream. Excited
Glad
to
to
be
hear
back.
it, pal. Glad to hear it.
I feel like I forgot how to do a lot of this because it's been so long since we did this.
You need a reminder of who Amber Heard is.
No, because that shit is everywhere.
Yes, it is.
Holy fuck. She's getting buried, bro. By the way, that text that Griff sent us last night, I seen that before, and that's hilarious. The Captain Jack Sparrow thing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that that Disney decided not to do any more movies with Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow because of this. I saw that today.
Disney, among several other people, decided not to do business with Johnny Depp because he was accused of a crime.
Well, now they're saying that she has personality disorder, and like I saw a girl go on a rant. Now, listen, I don't know anything about personality disorder, so I'm going to assume the girl that posted something does. And she went on a big long rant and said personality disorder does not make you violent. It just, you're depressed and you have severe mood swings and shit like that. But it doesn't make you a violent person. A violent person is just a violent person.
Well, not only that, but if that's one of her personalities, does that excuse the act? Like, okay, so if one side of me happens to be a murderer, but the other one gets up and goes to work every day, does that not make me Jeffrey Dahmer? And we still put that motherfucker in jail.
Yeah. Well, but, that was what, in the 70s? I feel like she's going for the insanity plea here, and she might fucking win. So.
She can't go for the insanity plea on this one, bud. This is a civil case, I believe, and this is just Depp going after her personally. Good. And they're going to end up paying some. I don't think they'll pay all of it. There's a lot of. Have you watched any of the trial?
No, like just bits and pieces I catch on like Facebook and shit.
Oh, there he is. I thought we lost you.
Nope, been here the whole time. So yeah, just bits and pieces that I've caught on like Facebook and shit. That's all I've seen.
Johnny Depp, highly entertaining through the entire trial. I love that when the lawyer reads something that Johnny Depp himself wrote, he reads it back and he always goes, "Did I read that correctly?" And Johnny Depp has like 9,000 of the smartest assed ways to answer, like, "Reading that, sir." And just like, it's in front of us all, man. We can fucking see it. He's
I saw one right.
Great job. Thank you.
I saw one right before we went live that said, that was like, "Would you say that you're the same size as Miss Heard?" And he goes, "No, I would not." Or he goes, or that you're larger than Miss Heard or something like that. And he goes, "No, I would not say that." And then it pans to her like putting her head down and shit. And it says all she heard was that she was fat. Classic.
Yeah, there's a lot, man. They show a video that she obviously illegally recorded of him in their home, and he's having a bad morning, like very clearly having a bad morning. He's slamming fucking cabinets and stuff, and she's just like, there's not a nice way to say it. She's egging him on, which I would have left him the fuck alone personally, but there's also no need for him to be acting the way he's acting. But he's like pacing back and forth, he's slamming shit around, and he's not saying anything to her, he's not doing anything to her. And she's like, "What's wrong, Johnny? Johnny, what happened? Johnny, talk to me. What happened?" And he just finally like walks over to her, and he has a huge wine glass, and he's thrown a couple like on the ground by this point because she keeps talking to him. And he's like, "It's not your fucking bad day. Nothing fucking happened to you." So he picks up this massive wine glass and he pours like the rest of the bottle of wine, fills it to the brim. Then he sees her phone and he's like, "Oh, you're recording this." And he picks it up and he like fucking slams it down. And so that's the end of the video. The guy's like, "Would you say that your behavior in this video was violent?" And Johnny Depp's like, "I certainly acted aggressively towards a couple of those cabinets. So that's something I would be willing to say." And he's like, "So you don't think that your behavior was violent?" And he's like, I guess in the illegally recorded video of me at a very bad time, not knowing what the date or time that this video is from, like I don't even know what I was angry about. I was definitely having a bad time, and I was definitely aggressive towards the cabinets. That's the best I'm going to give you right now. I don't want to say that I was violent. I can tell you this: at no point did I touch Miss Heard in the video. He just like, so what's violence, man? Like, was he being violent? I don't know. He didn't touch any human beings.
He was upset. Like,
Yeah,
that's the
and
crazy.
he slammed his cabinets.
Now we both,
for the record, they're his. He can do that.
well, no. So check this shit out. We both know a guy who got arrested for breaking a chair in his house. His chair,
Nice.
his house, got arrested for
Domestic disturbance.
Yeah. Can you fucking believe that shit? Like,
I absolutely can.
Dude, the world that we live in is wild. Wild.
It's insane. The fucking just the whole thing's been a riot. Watching Johnny Depp, he's like, this is like his best fucking performance ever, and he's not pretending. Like he's just being Johnny Depp. But they're like, it says here that like this is a text exchange between you and Marilyn Manson, and it says here that you guys are going to do drugs together. Did you and Marilyn Manson do drugs together? And he's like, yeah, it says it right there. Like, what the fuck? Like, don't answer.
Oh, we lost Pat. Uh-oh. This isn't good. One of us is having a bad time with the computers. And since my shit's all still running and we're still live, I'm going to go with it's Pat. So yeah, hopefully Pat snaps out of this lag that he's in. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, hold on. Hey,
Oh,
Pat,
there you are.
you just like super lagged out, bro. It's definitely on your end because nothing on my computer stopped.
Everything on my computer stopped.
Yeah, so we're gonna go with it's you. But I paused the podcast.
Oh, okay. Why were you laughing?
Because I was like, oh fuck. I was about to call you to tell you to disconnect from the fucking thing. Alright, so Pat's back. Hopefully that's the last time that happens. I forgot where we were at. We were talking about Johnny Depp doing drugs.
Yeah, with Marilyn Manson. Yeah. And like admittedly, he's not like, hey, I'm a drug-free guy. He's like, hey, I didn't beat the shit out of Amber Heard. There's a fucking difference, man. And they're up there just trying to trash him for every little thing. They're like, you're an alcoholic. He's like, correct. I am an alcoholic. I also use cocaine. I take ecstasy. I do Xanax. I don't beat Amber Heard. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. That's what we're here for.
We're not here for the things I do outside of beating people.
There is a petition now on, I'm not sure which social media platform because I'm bad at that, but it's up over 2 million people asking for Amber Heard to be taken off of Aquaman 2. So, the pendulum swings. Cancel culture going after Amber Heard.
Well, that, good for, I know that this is, like, you've been on top of this since day one, this whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing.
Yeah.
It's good to see them going after her. And
it took every ounce of evidence under the sun. He had to prove himself unequivocally. She had to be proven to be an absolute fucking maniac who lies constantly. She had to cut a finger off and shit in his bed and show him video of her cheating on him. But after all of that was done, we can finally do the right thing.
Well, that's men are scum, don't you know?
Evidence for men.
Yeah.
I will say I have a picture here on my phone. I'd love to send you. I didn't set up a meme section, but this is a picture of Amber Heard holding hands and walking with Elon Musk when they were together. And he has quite the shiner and it says, I know it won't happen, but part of me wants Johnny Depp's team to subpoena Elon Musk and ask him how the injuries showed up on his face while he was dating Amber Heard. Damn, son. Like,
Yo, since you brought it up, bro, what a fucking G is Elon Musk. I fucking love this guy.
See, I did it on purpose, Tom. I'm transitioning us, as a matter of fact.
I fucking love it, dude. That guy. So I'm in fucking Cabo when I get the update that he's in like legit at a meeting talking about buying Twitter, and then I get the update that he bought fucking Twitter, and I'm just
For
like,
pocket change, a mere 44 billion.
well, so that's the crazy part, right? Is like this guy. So I was talking with a guy at work the other day, and he goes, "I think this probably it probably started out as him saying, haha, like I'm gonna buy Twitter,' and then people started being like, he ain't gonna buy Twitter, and then he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go acquire the money." So he went and acquired the money, like got it. However, I don't know how billionaires keep their money, but he had to get $44 billion available. And
what you do, you're basically like you're a self-insurance company at that point. So he went out and he had a great majority of the money, but he went to other investors and said, hey, I'm going to take this. Every investment's a risk. Who's with me? And they were like, yeah, you're Elon Musk. We're in.
Yeah.
So he will not lose alone if there were to be a loss.
So he went and got the $44 billion, and then they're like, oh shit, maybe he's serious. And then sure as shit, he slammed his big dick on the table and said, yeah, I'm buying fucking Twitter. I love it. And I love the fact, like his first meme or his first tweet after he bought it was, I hope my biggest critics still stay on Twitter because that's what free speech is. And like, that's really what it comes down to is we're allowed to say whatever the fuck we want to say as long as you're not talking about harming another person.
Yeah, if I was prepared, I would have found the quote. He basically had the perfect quote. And it wasn't like a rebel rouser. It wasn't like ooh, I told you so. The quote was something to the effect of Twitter, Facebook, all the social media giants should allow people the freedom of speech that they've inherited by being born here. That means to the extent of the law. I'm not saying that you should be able to yell fire in a crowded building, but if they're unhappy with the extent of the law, that's why we have our legal system. If you're unhappy, change the law, and then you can police people according to the law still. What I want to do is let people say what they can say to the extent of the law, and if they don't like the law, then it's on them to change it. And I was like, man, that's about as fucking clearly put as possible.
Yeah. Well, and so I don't know if you know this or not, but all these big social media companies are protected by some law. I don't know which one it is, but
that says they're not guilty of anything anybody else says.
Yeah. So like, if somebody goes on their platform and says, I'm going to kill, if Johnny Depp went on Twitter and said, I'm going to kill Amber Heard, Twitter's not responsible for that. So why the fuck do they care? And it's all a political game. I talked a lot, like a prime example, right, is I met a guy from San Francisco out when I was in Cabo, and he said, he's building a house down there. So, and we were talking, he's like, I've been down here 4 times this year. So you figure once a month, right? So since the Ukrainian thing and everything, he goes, gas prices down here have not changed. It's 22 pesos for 1 liter of fuel, which is about $4 a gallon. And he goes, the price has not fucking changed. But in America, the prices have doubled for fuel. He goes, it's all political fucking game. And that's it all goes together. You know what I mean? The whole thing. It's all just one political fucking game. It's crazy. So, how was your trip to Arizona, Pat?
It was great. We spent time with my brother Michael and his wife and his 2 kids. One of his kids is like I think he's pushing 4. He is in the, he's not potty trained, but he's towards that spot. So he might be a little younger than 5. I think he's 4. He might be late 3. Either way, he's nonverbal. He's not autistic. They've had him checked for autism, but he has a thing. There's a name for it. It's with his tongue. So he thinks that he's saying what he wants to say, but he's not saying what he wants to say. So, like, for example, he loves fucking big equipment. So he sees excavators and calls them apertures.
Nice.
So if you don't know his fucking language, you have no clue what he's saying. Luckily, they know his language, and it will go away in time. But here's why this is fucking hysterical, because he has a little sister who's a straight fucking bully. She's like 2 and will probably speak before him. But also, like, they sit on like the same side of the kitchen table on a bench, and like he'll get up and he's like the sweetest kid in the entire world and just loves everybody and just wants to like hold your hand while you eat and fucking give you a big kiss on the cheek. And his sister will like sit on the bench next to him and just fucking swipe him off of the bench, be like, get the fuck out. Like,
Nice.
mama's home. Dude, it was funny as shit to just see she's like half his size, just bullying the fuck out of him.
Nice.
And what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Can't hit your sister, man.
Oh sure you can. My brother went after my sister with a log one time. It was hilarious. Fucked her up
With
pretty
a
good.
log?
Yeah, we were up at the bus stop and I don't know, we got into some sort of argument and he picked up a fucking log out of the woods and fucking whacked her right across the back with it.
That's pretty great.
Yo, Tim was fucking crazy, bro. Tim used to chase us with knives and shit. He's straight up lunatic.
I always hear that story. Like every girl that I've ever dated has a brother or sister who chased them with a knife, or they chased somebody with a knife. And I'm like, what the fuck was going on in your households?
Well, I think,
Like, we beat the shit out of each other, but we never were like, I'm gonna slit your fucking throat right now with this here knife in my hand.
dude, my neighborhood was wild growing up when I was a kid, dude. We had like, because there was a bunch of families, right? Which kind of sucks now that I live back here and I have a 13-year-old. There's not a lot of kids that live here anymore. It's a lot of the same families that I grew up with, right? So all their kids are grown and out of the house, and it's just the parents living there. But when I grew up here, I mean, every house had kids our age, right?
Yeah.
So, and we were all fucking crazy, dude. Little Twitch next door. One time I saw his ass come up out of the woods. They were in the woods building a fort, and he comes up holding his hand like right between his thumb and his index finger, right?
Yeah.
A girl down the street took a claw hammer backwards and put it through his fucking hand.
Oh.
Because they were fighting. He got fucked up. Like, I seen there's 2 brothers that lived on the corner, and I seen they were fighting one time. I saw the little brother jump off their deck. Now their deck is like a story and a half off the ground. He jumped off the deck and fucking chased his brothers through the woods. Like, crazy shit, dude. Like, they used to.
Fantastic.
We used to go crazy.
Yeah, we were definitely more self-injurious than other people injurious as kids. It was like call it a sign of the times, but we were hot and heavy with like Jackass and backyard wrestling and shit like that. So it was extreme stuff, but it was like we're on the same team extreme.
Yeah, we were definitely going after each other. It was wild. Good times were had by all. So yeah, man, this whole episode, or most of it, is going to be about my trip to Cabo. Hopefully we got some new listeners, because I did talk about the podcast a little bit, kind of told them about what we do, and they said they were interested in listening to the show. So we get out there. We got out on Wednesday, and dude, as soon as I land, I text you obviously, but as soon as we landed, we got to the hotel. I got a text from my son's aunt. My son was up in Massachusetts for 6 days before we left. He was up there Friday to Wednesday, and then he was supposed to go to New York City last weekend with his other grandparents. I got a text from his aunt. My son tested positive for COVID, and I'm fucking 4,000 miles away. And then I'm worried about, like, what if he had it before he went up there, and we have it, and we got a test before we come back. It was a whole fucking thing. Luckily, he was fine. He had the sniffles, basically, a little cold. And he's fine.
Yeah, I had your son while you were gone, and my plan was to just put him down.
Yeah.
Just take him out back old Yeller style.
So then Pat has him when he was done with his time in Mass and his little 5-day quarantine up there. And then so Erica says, Mrs. Jimmy G. I'm getting there, Erica. So I get home and we're driving back from the airport. It's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And he calls me. The kid has a massive earache. And what do you do for an earache, right? There's not much you can do. Like, it's just an earache, right? I think your shit froze again. You there?
Right.
So
it froze for a second, but you're good.
Yeah. So I get home and I feel horrible. I told him take some ibuprofen. and I ended up giving him. I have some like 800 milligram prescription strength ibuprofen. So I gave him one of those and gave him a fucking melatonin to help him sleep. So he was out of school for 2 days with that. He is doing better now. He's still all it's allergies. And because he's a 13-year-old boy that refuses to blow his nose, he just keeps sniffing. That's why he has a fucking earache. So either way, yeah, I get it. I mean, you do it all the time. You're disgusting because you're afraid of snots.
I'm in my late 30s.
Yeah, so that's what I get to look forward to. He's gonna end up being Pat. So anyway, so we get out there, and Erica and I always have this conversation when we go on vacation that Erica is probably one of the most outgoing people I've ever been in contact with. That's probably one of the things that I love about her. That, you know, she can be in anywhere with anybody, and she's going to make a conversation and, you know, make friends. So whenever we're on these trips, though, she's not that person. It's just me and her, right? So like we talk and we're like, you know, we need to find people to go on vacation with, because when you're with, well, it's nice to get away together and do things together. You know, you want to have interaction with, like, not for nothing, you kind of get like, it's boring being with the same person every day. As much as you love each other, there's only so much shit you can talk about.
Well, really, I mean, at the end of the day, a healthy couple being together alone is their alone time individually as well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have alone time outside of this house. I have alone time with Elizabeth. So really, if you guys are going on vacation together, you're going on vacation alone, as weird as that sounds.
Yeah. So I said, you know, we either need to find some couples to bring with us, or you need to make some fucking friends here, because we all know that I'm not the guy that's going to make friends.
Laid down the gauntlet. I like it.
So, now, mind you, we've had this conversation before when we've gone on vacation, and we never usually end up talking or making friends with anybody. So, it was Thursday or Friday. It had to have been Friday. You have to get up early there to go get, because obviously the sun is fucking shining, and, you know, I'm from the Northeast. You will fucking melt in the sun down there. So you gotta get up early, and you gotta get chairs with an umbrella, right? That's what you gotta do.
That's fair.
So we get up early, we get our chairs with the umbrella, and the first day we were there, somebody got married, right?
Like in front of you?
No, like we saw, they got married on the beach. But we knew that there was a wedding.
Yeah, but like
there.
You could see it from where you were at?
No, we saw them walk down to the beach. So we knew, and then we saw them walk back up. So, so we had seen this group of people around. They seemed loud and obnoxious, but it's a wedding, so what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? And again, we kind of mind our own business. So we're sitting out at the pool this day, and they're sitting next to us, right? And this guy is complaining how he got up early, got his chair with his umbrella. Now, I didn't notice at the time, his wife got fucking fried the first day they were there. They're from Saskatoon. I think I said that right. Canada. So,
hey, was his name Pat?
Yes, it was. I was trying to find him on Facebook. I couldn't find him, so I took his phone.
He messaged us on Facebook.
He did, so I could send him a friend request. I had to find him. I had to find us so I could find him. So yes, he did.
You were in Cabo, so I wasn't sure if that was a virus or if that was somebody you had interacted with. I was like, I'm not touching that one.
Yeah, no, I actually sent the message. Like, I took his phone, sent the message so I could go on my Facebook and find him and make a friend request.
Okay.
So, so it's actually that guy, Pat, right? He is, he's complaining all morning about how somebody came and stole his fucking umbrella, and he's whoever it did was an asshole, this and that, and, you know, whatever. I'm just fucking sitting there playing a game on my iPad, like I'm minding my own business, and they turn to us, they want to go smoke a cigarette, and, you couldn't smoke, like, there were smoking areas on the resort, you couldn't just smoke wherever you wanted, so they wanted to go smoke a cigarette.
Mexico?
Yeah, I think it's just this resort was like that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was like you couldn't even smoke on your balcony. Like, I was really upset about that, but whatever. So, they turned to Erica and I and they go, "Hey, do you guys mind watching our stuff?" Because this guy with the umbrella thing, and I was like, "Yeah, no." And Erica's like, "Yeah, no problem." Ha, ha. And so we watched their stuff, and then we're like, they come back and we're like, we're gonna go to the bathroom. So, and they're like, "Oh, we'll watch your stuff for you." So while we're walking over there, I go to Erica and I'm like,
that sounds like a setup.
I'm like, Erica, I tell you to make friends with people, and you make friends with these loud, obnoxious people. Like, what the hell's the
They're
matter?
Canadian. How bad can they be?
Well, listen, so then we're sitting there, right? And we're, again, minding our own business. This happens a little while later. We're not really, like, we said hi. We talked to him about the wedding and stuff, being friendly. And the guy who stole the umbrella shows up. And this guy, Pat, had no problem telling this guy what was up. And he was like, you're a fucking scumbag. You stole my umbrella. And he's losing it. And he's like, and the kid's like, I didn't steal your umbrella. And he's talking shit. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get to see a fight, dude. I'm going to get to see a fight right here. Yeah. Well, no, that little punk bitch that stole his umbrella, dude, tucked his tail between his legs, took his shit, and left. Little bitch. And
that's fucking great. So where was the umbrella?
They moved it over a couple chairs. They literally took the umbrella from this guy's chair and moved it to another set of chairs. It's basically how it played out. So then Eric and I start drinking. And we started talking to these people, man. And I tell you what, they were some of the funniest, nicest people I've ever met. And it just spiraled into meeting more people. We met the guy I told you I met from San Francisco. He was there with his, I believe it's just his girlfriend. She was actually from the same area of Canada where these other people were from. But now she lives in San Francisco with him.
You're from Saskatoon as well. You don't say.
Yeah. Hey. So we met them, and then we met Barb and Dark Barb, or as Erica said, Mrs. Jimmy G is Dark Barb. They're a mother and a daughter. The mother lived in like San Diego. Mrs. Jimmy G's from Colorado, and the reason we started talking to them is I'm in the pool. I'm bald, so I'm wearing I have a little Gilligan hat with a Niners logo on it.
Oh my God, I don't believe you. I need pictures.
And she
bullshit, prove it.
And she comes up to me and she goes, are you a Niners fan? I said, yeah. She goes, well, I'm Mrs. Jimmy G. And I said, what? And she was a little drunk. And she talked to me all the time about the Niners. And we talked about Jimmy G and fucking great people. She's the one that
You know what Jimmy G's wife looks like?
Jimmy G's not married. She's not. So
you know that she's not Mrs. Jimmy G.
Yes, but she told me she's married to somebody else, but she would leave her husband for Jimmy G. Without a doubt.
And for the amount of money that guy's got, I'd suck his dick. Whatever.
Yeah, I would do it. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Erica, how do you spell A? So we get drunk one night at this. They had a skytop bar. So you go up. It's in this like pavilion area, but you take an elevator up. It's like 4 stories up. And we're up there drinking one night, and the guy from San Francisco and Erica and I all started talking about Letterkenny because they're all from fucking Canada. So we were like, "Do you guys ever watch the
greatest show ever made?" Despite what you say,
listen, it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. But fucking this guy loved Letterkenny, and then we started talking shit to him, asked him, "How do you spell A?" Dude, it was a good time. We had so much fun.
Great.
So we're in the pool one day, right? We're in the pool. We're hanging out with all these guys, getting a little drunk. And this lady, an older lady, I don't know where she was from. I don't even know her name, comes up. And, you could tell like she wanted to have a good time. And she comes over and she starts talking to Erica and Mrs. Jimmy G.
Oh my God, Tommy has a 3-way. I'm listening.
No, she was not attractive at all. She looked like Bruce Jenner. But the Caitlyn version. Like, that's what she looked like. And she starts talking to Erica, and she goes, what's your name? She goes, oh, my name's Erica. She goes, oh, that's my son's name. So, Erica, Franken Beans. You watch The Office?
The Office, Franken Beans? That's from fucking Something About Mary.
No, it's from fucking The Office. When they go on their honeymoon, they meet a couple, and the guy's name was Frank, and the girl's name was Bean or something, and was that the lady's name? Gorelli? I don't know what the girl's name is, but anyway, when Jim and Pam are on their honeymoon, they meet a couple, and like they come back, and like their joke was Franken Beans because that's what they used to call them on their trip, and Eric and I just kept saying that to each other the whole time. Anyway, so this lady comes up to her, starts talking, and she goes, "Yeah, my son's name is Erica," and I'm like, what the fuck? She must have thought she said her name was Eric. You know what I mean? She goes, well, that was his name. Now it's Rob with 2 B's. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Where is she from?
I don't know. But all I know, and then she started talking. Her friend was from South Africa. She got mauled by a dog, and she's blind. And Jerry Lee. Jerry Lee.
Oh.
Was that her name, Erica?
Like Lewis, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, but the girl's spelling. Okay. So yeah, so she starts talking about her friends there with her. She's fucking blind. She got mauled by a dog, but her other friends were taking care of her. She was fucking shit faced. But I was just in like she started talking about her daughter, son. I don't know if it. I assume it was a girl transformed into a boy, transgender thing. It was wild, dude. It was like the people you meet on vacation. Erica read a book called "The People You Meet on Vacation," and it's wild. It's wild. I'm so happy that we met these people. They were hilarious. I had a great time with all of them. And all in all, my Cabo trip was probably one of the best vacations I've ever taken. We took a sunset cruise because they have these arches down there. And we wanted to go see them. And Erica, I never take Erica on excursions. So I figured, well, we might as well do one, and never been on a sailboat. It was pretty cool. And I meet a guy, Pat, that it was, I'll tell you what he did. And it's crazy how small the world is. He was the international Volvo rental rep. So he was in charge of all the rentals internationally for the company Volvo with all their dealerships. How crazy of a world is it, right? That I meet somebody that does that or did that. He was retired. Yeah, fucking crazy. I met another guy, the guy from San Francisco, works for a town in San Francisco. He did a bunch of stuff in sort of in the same realm what we do for a living. We talked about shows out in Erica, you're a little bit behind. She goes, oh, and you met the guy in the boat, the rental guy. Yeah, thanks. This guy worked for the town in San Francisco, or the city of San Francisco, and was telling me about shows that he goes to in Vegas that are related, like the World of Concrete and stuff like that. And with what we do for a living, we do the same thing. We don't actually go to those shows, but our company does. So pretty cool. We got to talk about shit like that. It's crazy that I met two people, like 2 out of the 5 groups of people that I talked to did something in the realm of what I do for a living. Like,
that's neat.
How crazy is it? The guy from Canada works for the natural gas pipeline. So he fucking digs natural gas. Like, just crazy shit. So yeah.
I will say that in my time in Arizona, speaking of the people that you meet, I met some doctors. Now, I've never seen this live, like they let down the fourth wall because now I'm hanging out with doctors. They happen to be, my brother is an RN, so he's with his friends, and they're doctors, obviously, because they all work together. And first off, we walk into this guy's house, and to say it's a mansion would kind of be an understatement. I mean, it's not the most gigantic house in the entire planet, but it was fucking ridiculous. He had a fucking top porch, like a front porch, a back porch, and then on top of his house there's a fucking porch.
Nice.
Because in Arizona all the roofs are flat. And like if you look out like the south side of his house, there's a mountain range, but if you turn the couches the other way, there's a fucking mountain range. Like he's just surrounded by fucking beautiful landscape everywhere. And he has it's called a spool, a spa pool. So it's big enough to be considered a swimming pool, but it is a hot tub.
Nice.
And I'm like, dude, this thing's fucking crazy because it's got a waterfall, right? I'm a sucker for waterfalls. I love fucking waterfalls. I'm like, this thing's fucking gorgeous. And he's like, really? He's like, I got to tell you, I almost didn't buy the house because of this stupid fucking thing. I really think it ruins the house. And I'm like, because it costs so much to run it? Because in my head, right? Like, that's how you ruin the house. And he's like, oh, no, that's not bad. Just, it's kind of an eyesore, no? And I'm like, man, I fucking hate rich people. These motherfuckers are crazy. Nicest guy in the world. He really was. I don't hate him at all. But I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what ruins the house? It's just, I don't know. Maybe he had something else in mind that could have been there. I don't know. But we did the Hot Ones Challenge, which is that wing competition that you see where it's an interview style thing. And they basically, there's 10 wings and you go from level 1, not that hot, to level 10. which in our hot wing challenge was 2 million Scovilles. To put that in perspective, a jalapeno pepper is 35 to 50,000 Scoville units.
Nice.
So, the last thing we ate was 2 million Scoville units. We did, all 5 of us that did it, got through it. Level 8 was by far the most disgusting thing I've ever tried in my life. It was like, it was like fire, but fire that had been set onto a pile of shit. You ate the shit fire. Other than that, though, there were a ton of good flavors. You can buy the kit, right? So, like, I think we should do this. I think we should do this with some number 9ers who think they're tough enough.
There's zero chance I'm doing that.
No, it's not bad. It's $120. You get 10 bottles, so they're $12 a bottle. Well worth it. One of the doctors let me actually take the one that I really liked home, which was nice of them, because it had really good flavor. It was like 2 or 3. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was really good. But so that was a lot of fun. I also met. Have I told you about my trip? Did I tell you who I met at the magic shop?
Yes, you did.
So, we're in this town. It essentially is like Sturgis, not Sturgis. What's the town up here that lives like they would have back then?
Sturbridge,
yeah, or Jamestown, where they kind of live the lifestyle. So this is a cowboy town. It's the old Wild West thing. You ride a train and you get a tour, and there's haunted places. It's crazy. Everybody's a cowboy or a cowgirl, as it were. We go into a magic shop, and this guy's showing us a bunch of sleight of hand magic, which is my favorite magic of all time, especially with cards and stuff like that. I bought a little kit because there were a lot of good tricks for kids, and I got a bunch of nieces and nephews, and I'm a sucker for magic. But I say to the guy, because a lot of these places are like either low paid or volunteer bases. So I say, hey man, were you into magic before you landed this gig, or did they teach you so that you could work in the magic shop? And he was like, I was like a semi-professional, made money doing magic, but my actual career, since you've asked and nobody ever asked about me, is I'm Ronald McDonald. So Miss Elizabeth and I just laugh. We're like, okay. He's like, no, really, like the one from your child, the one you recognize, that's me. I'm that Ronald McDonald, the really the most popular one. And every Ronald McDonald since then has been trained directly by me. I trained them myself. And then he made me a little origami frog, and he signed it Ronald. It's cool. I have not broken into the magic set, though there were a couple that I could do just by pulling it out of the set. And I showed those to Jalen, and she was mind blown immediately. So that was cool.
It's so weird that you're into magic.
I met Ronald McDonald, dog. If I wasn't into magic, that never would have happened.
I'm at work the other day, and number 3 is on a phone call with a guy whose name was Ronald McDowell or something like that. And
oh my God, like Coming to America.
He straight up fucking called him Ronald McDonald on the phone, and I fucking burst out fucking laughing, dude. He goes, all right, is this Ronald McDonald? And I fucking start dying. And and he can't get his shit together. He's like trying to like fix what he said. Dude, I was in fucking stitches. And then the guy came in, and I went right up to him and I said, just so you know, he called you Ronald McDonald on the phone. He goes, it happens all the time. And I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. Man. So Pat, I got this new betting thing, and I want to know if you want to take the journey with me.
No, but go ahead.
I
went to the casino yesterday.
How'd you make out?
I played slots for what I think is the second time in my life, because that's what Miss Elizabeth wanted to do. I play a table game. She was like, absolutely not. We're not going to be here all day, because she knew as soon as I hit that table, we were hanging. I had a bunch of cash on me. But I lost $10 in a matter of maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's what happens, bro. You got to go and you can't start with $10. You got to start with like $100 or $200, hit max bet. That's the only way you're going to win money. But that's also how you lose a lot of money at the slot machines.
Yeah, here was my thought. It was $10, which I was willing to part with. And we were just there for Krispy Kreme donuts. Miss Elizabeth's birthday is coming up very soon. So Friday night, we went out for hibachi. Saturday, we went to Mystic, the Shops by Mystic. We did some shopping around. We got some stuff for the garden. And that's, her favorite things. Today, we're going out to a seafood place way down by the water.
I got to ask you, Pat, how come her birthday is a fucking multi-day event? Her birthday was one day.
Miss Elizabeth is she's a wonderful woman. She's lovely.
Erica's lucky
she
if I
knocks
get
my
her.
socks off.
She's lucky if she gets a fucking card, and I married her.
Yeah, no, Miss Elizabeth. If it helps, everywhere I bring her, I get to touch her boobs and butts. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I could do that with Erica too. I choose not to because it's fucking gross that you do that around other people.
Oh, fuck them. I don't care.
Yeah, you should because it's. I mean, being touchy.
Again,
you look like a weird
being
guy.
with Miss Elizabeth is like being alone for me. So I'm just touching myself in public. If you think about it,
You're a sick individual. I
fall
still
back to the beginning of the episode.
I still don't understand why it's a multi-day event, but hey, man, you do you, boo. You know, like I said, Erica's lucky she gets a card.
If her birthday didn't fall on the day it falls on, maybe it would be different. It's just, coincidentally, it works out to where apparently she gets a birth weekend.
Is this going to be every year or just this year?
Who knows? I think that
is her birthday on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday?
Yes.
It's all 3 days.
I thought that was your question. Is it on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday? Yes, it's on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. You wanted to know which day her birthday was on.
I just don't understand how it turns into a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing unless her birthday is Monday. And if it
is Monday.
Okay, because I was going to say, if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, then like I could see why you're celebrating it.
Then I'm going to figure out something to do for Monday. I know.
But if it was Wednesday, it would have to be next weekend that you're celebrating all these things, I would assume.
Here lies the problem. Her brother's birthday is Thursday coming up. It's 3 days later. So next weekend is reserved for her brother because we're going to do something for him one day. So I couldn't do something for her all 3 days because he was taking one of the days.
Do all of them celebrate their birthdays in 5-day increments? Or
think about it like this, Tom. You know how when your birthday comes around, you get super butthurt because everybody talks about 9/11 and you can't just have your special day?
I really don't care.
You're full of shit. And we can go back. We can go back episodes to go back to our 9/11 episode because you were upset that we were talking about 9/11 instead of the birth of the goddamn bald man.
Listen, I'm just saying, like, that sucks about my birthday is that's what everybody talks about. It's a bad reminder. Actually, somebody asked me when my birthday was or something like that, and I said it's 9/11. And they go, "Oh, that sucked." I said, "I thought it was a pretty good day." I don't know. Like, and that's going to be my answer from now on because one bad thing happened on my birthday. That doesn't affect me. I think it's a great day. The world was blessed with this. You know what I mean? So
an excellent point. So here's the thing. To the point of your birthday always is remembered by 9/11. Miss Elizabeth's birthday is always Liz and Anthony's birthday. It's her and her brother's birthday because they're 3 days apart. So this was my way of distinguishing. I went before the birthdays and I went 3 days of it's just Miss Elizabeth's birthday. I'm distinguishing the difference. That's all it was about. It was just a nice little way to make her feel special.
Jeez. Well, Pat, you're more thoughtful and caring than I am.
I try.
Again, it's just another day. I mean, that's really how I look at things. I don't like to celebrate holidays. I don't like to celebrate. Like, the only thing that I kind of celebrate is my anniversary. And usually that's because I get to go on a vacation. Other than that, I mean, and that's one of the biggest days of my life. Like, that's something I chose to do. I didn't choose to be born. I chose to get married, and I chose to get married to Erica. Also, I guess her birthday, but we actually always try to do something for her birthday. I always do think of something to do. Like a couple years ago, I took her to Lake George. But I also, it's just another day, man. Just another day.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Like, I don't take my birthday off. I certainly wouldn't take somebody else's birthday off. I will say though that it's easy to be thoughtful, right? If you know somebody well enough, and it's much easier to do something that you know they'll like than it is to find something that you know they'll like and they don't already fucking have. Because we're pretty good to our women to begin with. So, like, Easter was a month ago. If she needed anything or wanted anything, she got it for Easter. Here we are. It's her birthday.
Hold on.
And I'm just like, I don't know
you
what the fuck you want. I was going to get her an Apple Watch. She said no.
You are two grown adults, and you give each other gifts on fucking Easter?
Yeah, Tom, we don't have kids.
Easter's a kid holiday. You know what I got my kid for Easter? Fucking nothing.
I have a picture of Michael Myers, a picture of Freddy Krueger, and a picture of Jason Voorhees on my wall in my living room. You're going to debate whether or not I'm mature enough to celebrate Easter? Think this through, man. Consider the audience.
I don't understand why you're celebrating fucking Easter.
Speaking of children, Tom, can I tell you that your child was A, the perfect house guest, but B, the perfect excuse. Every night that your son was at my house, we ate exactly what I wanted for dinner, and this is how I did it. I called Miss Elizabeth. I said, hey, what do you want to do for dinner? And she said, I don't know. What are you thinking? I said, I don't know. I'm going to ask Colin, and we'll see what he wants. We'll just spoil him. We only got him for 3 or 4 days. We'll take care of him. Okay. So then I would make up a big elaborate story, normally with a lot of vulgarity from your son. So we'd get there, and she'd be like, what are we going to do for dinner? I'm like, I ordered it when I was at Tom's house. We're having Chinese because I asked Colin if he wanted pizza, and he was like, don't be a fucking pussy, Patrick. Get the fucking Chinese, Patrick. And I honestly was a little bit scared of him, so I just ordered it right then and there. It'll be here in like 10 minutes. And I did it everything I did was Colin's fucking fault the whole fucking time. He's like, did you drink my water? I'm like, dude, Colin said that I looked dehydrated. He was picking on me. He was like, nice skin. What are you, a snake, scaly snake boy? So I drank your water because I didn't want him to keep picking on me. Just everything I could to blame your son.
I did yell at him for watching scary movies at your house because when he was younger,
we only watched a scary movie every night.
Yeah, I know. Which I don't care that he watches scary movies. I don't I could give a fuck less. But when he was little, Eric and I had Criminal Minds on in the background. Like we weren't even watching it. It was just on the TV. And he went home and complained to his mother and other people saying that I was making him watch it and that he was scared to go to sleep. And so I yelled at him and said, you're a little bitch. You just want to get me in trouble. And now you're over there watching fucking Scream with Pat, which Scream is not even a good horror movie. So, did you watch the new one?
This coming from a guy who's seen one horror movie in his entire life.
I've seen Scream. It sucks.
Scream's one of the best movies ever made. First,
you're
off.
a
Second,
fucking. We've had
yes, I've seen the new one. The only person who hasn't seen the new one is your son because we skipped Scream one night and we watched fucking like Thor 2 because he was tired, which is fine. But so now we had the opportunity to see all 5 Screams and we only saw 4 of them. So we got to watch the 5th Scream and he was like, I'm not going to watch anywhere else. I'll wait for it. Okay. Like I've already seen it, but you're welcome to come here and watch it.
By the way, I'm pretty sure you told me this before, but I started watching a new show. It's called The Ranch. Have you watched? You were the one that told me.
I'm sure I told you 100 times to watch The Ranch.
Dude, that show is so So Eric and I are watching. No,
you're heartbroken, Tom.
Why?
I take it you don't know what the Me Too movement did to The Ranch.
I do. And that didn't ruin. Mason ruined that for me. He's a fucking piece of shit. But he ruined that for me. It happens in season 6.
What I don't get is why we consistently go with allegations. Because we didn't wait. I don't even know if that case has taken place yet, Danny Masterson's court case.
It did.
I know that
as
soon
innocent.
as he was accused by somebody, he was taken off of The Ranch and replaced by fucking Dak Shepard.
Which is crazy, right? Because this show, if you watch it, is very, very red. You know what I mean? Like it's hardcore red, talk shit about Democrats. So I'm surprised
that's
that
the show itself. That's not the company that's fucking showing it.
Well, Netflix isn't about political correctness, or else they wouldn't have people like Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle doing the fucking doing stand-ups and having all look what happened to Dave Chappelle, and they said we're not taking the fucking special down. So I'm surprised that happened. But nonetheless,
actually, now that you mention it, that's a good point. They even were willing to have 10-year-old porn, so that's a good point.
What?
Didn't Netflix have that Little Beauties or Pageant Beauties or Little Starlets, whatever the fuck that show was?
That's kind of out of my age bracket. I'm not really looking for stuff like that. Fuck, what was I gonna say? But anyway, so Mason ruined that for me. But he also told me that he just disappears off the show. Like they just cut him out and You never know what happened, which is not true. They killed him off, which was traumatizing at best. But so I was talking to Eric about. Now I started watching the show while we were on vacation, and it's fucking hilarious. The whole show is hilarious. But Eric and I are sitting there last night watching it, and I said, and she said, I know why you like the show so much. It's because they swear so much. And I said, no, that's not it. It's the relationship with the father reminds me of a relationship that I have with my father. In some sense.
It's a great relationship dynamic. It is the first show that I remember, and I vividly remember watching that show, sitting down and watching it and go, man, this is what TV's been missing, because I'm all dialogue. I don't give a fuck what the storyline is. I'm interested in the dialogue. Even with music, I'm interested in the lyrics. I don't care about the beat or the guitar. And it's the first show where they speak the way that we speak. It's not all censored. It's not all cleaned up. It's, if somebody wants to say fuck this, they say fuck this. And I went, this is so weird to watch because it's so fucking good. It's very real.
Erica said, so now you're spoiling it. Erica, you watched the episodes with me last night.
I don't think she meant you're spoiling it for her.
Oh, well, whatever. That's what I do. I spoil shows.
Yeah, sorry, guys. 10 years ago, Danny Masterson got canceled.
Actually, it's not...
Spoiler alert.
No, that show, they're still making new episodes of that. So, it's on season 8.
I just said Danny Masterson. I didn't say the show.
Oh, well, it wasn't 10 years ago either. That was 2 seasons ago, so 2 years ago he got cut off. But either way.
I will say, I watched the next season. I have not watched. If there's another season, I haven't watched.
So you watched season 6? You haven't watched 7 or 8?
Correct.
Okay, so there's 2 more after what you watched.
It's not as good. Danny Masterson was great on that show.
Well, that's what I was worried about when I said it to Mason, and we'll see if I continue. First off, Sam Elliott fucking kills it.
Yeah, dude, everything he touches is gold.
And
he's like King Midas.
And I love...
the other show, not that you've watched it or that you even knew it existed, is Lethal Weapon made a television show.
Oh, yeah. Is that any good?
The show was fucking legit. It was really, really good. And then that dude got canceled. The white dude on that show got canceled for the same thing, allegations. And they replaced him with Sean William Scott, the guy that plays Stifler.
Oh, really?
And meh.
Well,
it's okay.
So that's what I'm worried about with this going forward, is that because that dynamic, right? You miss, because it's literally the cast from that 70s show. They've been
together since they were fucking kids.
I haven't seen Donna and the other chick yet. Those are the only 2 people I haven't seen.
Mila Kunis?
Yeah, but Red was in it for a little while. Fez was in it. Obviously, fucking Ashton Kutcher and Danny were in it.
I don't know if Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher are close enough at this point. I don't know if they get along well enough to do a show together at all. I don't.
I don't know, but the mom is his fucking girlfriend's mom, and is the girlfriend's mom or his wife's mom in the show was his mom from that 70s show. And so it's cool that he brought a bunch of those people in with him to the ranch. Erica said, actually, all the people from that 70s show are coming back for a 90s show, except for Danny Masterson, almost all the people from the ranch. Oh, really? I didn't know that. That sucks that it's not going to be Danny Masterson, because he's fucking hilarious. He played his role in the ranch as Rooster he is, you know who he reminds me of? Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The two of them going from nonstop comedy in that 70s show, which Ashton Kutcher's good at that because he's such a fucking goofball.
Yeah.
But to see them go to the ranch and really nail those parts as, I don't want to say fuck up sons, but sons doing what they can to just make dad proud, and instead of following their dreams, fuck up dad's dreams, because they're not doing what they want to do. They're doing what he wants them to do.
Well, no.
They nail that, to the umpteenth degree. They killed it.
Yeah, they did. Again, we'll see what happens with this. I fell asleep last night watching it, but it was as the other guy showed up, so I'm sure I'll watch more of it tonight. What are you talking about? Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher are married in real life. Yeah.
They're still married?
Yeah, I think
I thought they were divorced.
No, I think they were together, and then he was with Demi for a little while, and then he left Demi and went back to Mila.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I figured that you would know that shit. I don't really follow any of that shit.
I don't pay attention. I see what comes through in memes, bro. That's my news feed.
Yeah, I don't know anything about any of this stuff. So anyway, back
Memes
to
are the new funny pages.
We'll end the show on this, Pat, and I really want you to take this ride with me. It's only a $10 investment, but it's really simple. I think it would be fun, and it would be fun for the show, right? Because I really want to do it with Griff.
Oh my god, are we going to bet on the Super Bowl winner for 2023?
No, we can, but no, that's not it. I think it'd be fun for the show. It would be great for the new show that's going to be coming out. We'll probably come out in the fall with it for the Laying 9.5 with Tommy, the show that we're going to do with Griff about betting. But yeah, I want to
be there right when my therapy show comes. Okay.
And I want to. So you take $10 and you pick one bet a day, or however often you want to do it, and you pick plus 100 or better, right? But something in that wheelhouse, plus 108, plus 110, something like that, and you bet it every day, or you find a different bet every time. So you start with 10. If you win, you got 20, and then you take that 20, you bet it again, and you got 40. If you could hit 17 bets in a row by doing that, you'll have $1 million.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's a $10 investment. Now, I tried this already this week. I hit the first one. I lost the second one.
Not 16 shy.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Great news. I think Miss Elizabeth is coming down the stairs right now. Tom, I don't want to end on that note because I want to say this. North Carolina has a commitment from 4 of its 5 starters. Minnick can't go back. Minnick was a 5th-year senior because of COVID. Everybody gets to play 5 years. So Minnick was a 5th-year senior. He can't come back. Everybody else has recommitted. And Tommy, the number 1 prospect for the 2023 season, which is not this season coming up, but the next one, has already committed. The number 1 prospect in the country. He's a senior in high school this year, or going into the next year. He'll be a senior in high school. He's already committed to UNC. UNC's on pace for a real fucking run. Yeah, they're top 5 projected seed this year.
I could give a fuck less.
Not me.
However, excited. I heard that you and Old Man Clutch were going to go to some UNC games this year.
Fuck yeah!
And I would love
Tony
to
and I go.
Yeah, I would love to tag along. I'd probably go watch one. I think
be a good time
with sports betting. I'm definitely getting more into college football, more into college basketball. Have you watched any of this new USFL?
Can I tell you right now, Miss Elizabeth is bent over in the dryer. She's got some Harry Potter pajama pants and a Notre Dame t-shirt, looking sexy as a motherfucker. What up, boo-boo?
Yeah, you lost.
How you doing?
You lost me at the Harry Potter pajama pants.
What do you mean? He's a wizard. Trust me, she's a wizard too. You know.
Anyway, that's great.
I love you. You're beautiful.
You're so fucking weird, man.
Tommy says you don't deserve a whole weekend of special days, and I
that's
said
not what I said.
Miss Elizabeth is very special, and she deserves exactly that.
That's not what I said, Pat. Don't twist what I said. I said, why did
she said? No, he's right. I don't deserve a weekend. It should have been a full week. Real nice.
I don't understand how what I said got misconstrued there, but whatever. Have you watched any of the new USFL?
Just highlights. I did see that the Breakers are like the standout number 1 team.
Yeah, I haven't. I watched the first week with Griff. Obviously, I was away last weekend, so I didn't watch any.
Was I right that you were going to root for the Gamblers?
I didn't root for it really anybody. I just watched the games. I did have some bets on some of these guys, but I wasn't really rooting. It was small money, so it didn't really matter. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start that $10 thing this week again. I've been picking like player points, like something real easy that you don't necessarily have to watch the game for. But like I got fucking screwed by a guy the other night. I needed him to score 28 points. He ended up scoring 14. So that sucked. And he was like one of the stars on the team. That's probably why his team got their ass kicked. But I figure, fuck it, yo. Even if I do $10 and if I do it 10 times, I lose $100. I've lost more than that on one bet. So Very worth a shot.
So if you do this 16 times, Tom, are you at $500,000?
Yes. There's a good chance, Pat, that if I can get it, if I win it like 8 times and I'm up over a couple $1,000s, there's a good fucking chance I just stop. Because why would I want to lose fucking $5,000 when I could just put in another $10 and start it over and keep winning, win $5,000. You know what I mean?
Well, that was kind of my thought too. I'd probably stop at what was it to get to $1 million?
17.
I would probably stop at 14 or 15.
Yeah, I would stop well before that because you're talking that's hundreds of thousands of dollars. I would probably stop somewhere in the ballpark of a few thousand. But so like I was thinking about it, right? And so say I get it up to 5,000, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start over, and then I keep winning those. I'm gonna be pissed that I didn't keep going with the money because I was too scared to lose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to have some balls to do it.
Well, and there's no such thing as pot committed. If your money's in there, you can always take your money out.
I was talking to Griff about it, and he was like, I would stop probably around 80. And I'm like, you are the biggest fucking pussy I've ever met, dude. He loves gambling, dude, but he bets like quarters. Like, that's not gambling. Like, I don't know how he's that invested into gambling when he bets such small amounts, but I guess he's built different, right? Like me, I got to have some skin in the game. It has to be some real money to really get me going on it.
Tony does all $5 bets.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I mean, everybody's built different, but I'm really excited, man. Even if we wait until August to start this new podcast with Griff, I think it's gonna be fun when we start that betting podcast. I do want to start putting some more time into the show, but I got a lot of shit going on at the house with fucking bathroom remodels and everything else, and now it's springtime. I got to get the yard all done. So hopefully we can keep doing our 2 shows a week, and then towards Tom did.
That was Tommy. He came down. My computer was fucking up, and Tommy stopped by. He fixed my computer, and he threw that Wendy's bag over there on the ground. What had happened? See, she's staring at me. What happened was, I was like, Tom, I need your help.
Why didn't you blame it on Colin?
I'll be there. What?
Why didn't you blame it on Colin?
Did I say Tom? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Colin. Colin, when he was here, he was like, "Stop, you little bitch, and get me Wendy's." And I was like, "Yes, sir." And we had stopped.
I taught Colin how to shave this morning.
Dave's double, huh?
I taught Colin how to shave this morning.
Oh, Tom taught Colin how to shave this morning. His face, I presume, not like his armpits or his chest.
No, I'm pretty sure he's been shaving his balls for a while. Remember, I had to get him his own beard trimmer because I'm pretty sure he was using mine.
Yeah, because you shave your face with Colin's beard trimmer or ball trimmer. Yes.
Yeah. I actually, so with doing this bathroom, I went through, dude, I had like 4 or 5 beard trimmers. It's amazing how many beard trimmers I have. I just keep buying them for no reason.
I have like 4 or 5. What happens is like when I'm going on a trip, I want to clean up real nice. And I always am like, I don't know if that one's charged, but I'm like, I'm packing. I have 15 minutes before I fly out for 2 weeks. I folded nothing, washed nothing, and I'm not ready to leave. I'll just buy a new trimmer, shave with it, and then go. So I always end up in new ones. I did get a new style this last time.
By the way, I still have
your flat ones.
I still have your hair trimmer here.
I bought a new one. Don't worry about it. You can keep it.
I'm probably gonna throw it away. I actually bought
Don't throw it away.
I bought a battery powered head shaver thing. Buzzers.
Oh, you swap it out like from your vibrator to that? That's cool.
No, it actually holds the same batteries as our vape. As our vapes would.
Ah. Well, I have batteries from my vape if you want them.
No, I have never charged it, and because I don't use it that often, obviously, because I'm bald. I usually just use it on my back. Dude, do you want to know what stops? So, like, I'm a big person on body hair. Now, obviously, you've seen me without my shirt on. I have a lot of it. But
yes, you do.
But what I don't understand is, like, if I'm going on vacation, right, I touch up my back. Like, I get rid of the hair on my back because I think that's fucking gross. It's amazing the people you see on vacation that just don't give a fuck that they are hairy people.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Though Miss Elizabeth has shaved my back, but I could care less.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not like, I don't care if it's just me and Erica, right? Like, she see me at my worst. I don't care. But like, it's like going out in public, right? Like, you're not gonna wear. Now, you see me go out in public in sweatpants, but I'm in Torrington. But if I'm going out, right, I'm going to put on decent clothes. I'm going to look presentable. And to me, you gotta do some manscaping if you're gonna be out in a pool with a bunch of people. You know, like, obviously, I'm not gonna shave my chest bare, but I will take a trimmer to it and fucking trim down the hair so I don't have 4 mile long nipple hairs.
I got two things while you were gone. Right immediately when people found out that you had gone to a tropic location. One, thank God he shaved his head. Immediately, as soon as you shaved your head, the entire group that we spend our time with rejoiced. And I'd like to take credit for that because I think I made you feel so bad about your hair that you shaved your head. I could be wrong. You might have been planning on.
No, because I bumped into you the night before I was leaving, and
Yeah, I think I guilted you into it.
You did 100%.
Good. I don't regret it because a friend tells you that you look fine. A best friend tells you that there is a fucking bald ring in the back of your head and it's time to get it gone. I did my fucking obligation as a best friend by hurting your feelings, and I knew it was going to happen. I knew I was going to, and it needed to be done.
And what's the other
two? Everybody wanted a picture of you going down a water slide.
There were no water slides.
Fucking died. How many people asked?
Yeah, we had no water slides where I was at, or else we definitely would have done something crazy like that. But
fucking classic.
I hate that picture, Pat, mainly because I look like Uncle Fester coming out of that water slide. Now,
you're so white.
Yeah, if I was a little bit thinner, I don't think it would bother me so much. But man, I am so fucking fat, dude. It's disgusting.
I feel the same way, man.
It's
the problem is, and I vividly remember as like a 18, 19-year-old being like, I don't get why people who are going bald don't just use a hair product. But here I am, like my hairline's receding like a motherfucker. And I'm like, because I don't give a fuck. That's why I'm not going to use a hair product because I just don't fucking care. On top of that, I watch, like I'll walk through the living room and Miss Liz has on 600-pound sisters or my 500-pound life or my 800-pound mistress or whatever the fuck she watches. And I'm like, how do they let themselves get that big? Here's how. I can still function. I'm a functioning fat guy. I can still do everything that I need to do in my life.
Yeah. Well, and here's the surprising part, right? Like, I went to a place where I could eat all I wanted to eat all day, every day. And you want to know what's crazy? I don't think that I went that crazy. Yeah, like there was a couple days where I probably overate a little bit, but like I wasn't going to breakfast buffet, lunch buffet, dinner buffet, having lunch, our second lunch, fucking getting snacks in the middle of the night. Like, not like we went to breakfast in the morning. It was a buffet, but I typically have one plate of food, have some scrambled eggs or something, bacon, a piece of fruit. Lunch, same thing, and then maybe dinner you went a little bit extra, but it depended because they changed their dinner buffet every night, so it's something different. And like some of the shit I didn't like, so I didn't eat a lot. Yeah. I just don't feel like I went too crazy. But again, I think my big transition is I had a job change and I'm more stagnant than ever. You know what I mean?
You're not moving around as nearly as much as you were. I'm actually moving around more than ever. I was thinking that the other day was if I could just get back on dieting right now and maybe a little bit of exercise outside of work, I'd probably shed through fucking pound.
Well, I think the big thing is, especially for Eric and I, is the breads, man. The fucking breads kill you. I feel 100 times. I do, man. Last night we had fucking bolognese. You know what I mean? Like, I love pastas. I love breads, and I think that's probably one of our biggest downfalls. And a lot of it has to do with what we put in our food here, which is no good for us. But since I've been back, I've eaten like shit. I had Smoking with Chris's one day. I had fucking Burger King yesterday.
I'll let you in on a little secret. You got a guy that works with you. He kind of look and talk like Frankenstein. He also moves like Frankenstein. That gentleman knows every fucking restaurant this side of the Mississippi along the East Coast and which ones are healthy. We went Wednesday, he and I went to a Mongolian buffet, but you're on an hour lunch break, you don't have a ton of time. But we had one plate made. You can pick whatever you want, put it on the plate. Do you know what Mongolian is? Have you ever done that?
No.
Think hibachi, okay? Picture hibachi, but you make a plate of raw food, okay?
And then
you
they cook
bring
it?
it up to the chef and they cook it in front of you, but they cook it like I got General So sauce and like a scoop of garlic and brought it to the guy and he fucking made it all. And then I ate what is, I mean, the freshest food you're going to fucking find in a restaurant anyways. It was fantastic and it's probably the healthiest thing I've eaten in a month.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think like Eric and I talked about it while we were on vacation, and I think, I lost 30, 40 pounds when we did keto a couple years ago. I was in the best shape of my life. I was the lightest I'd been in years. It was right before we got married. Oh shit, it was 5 years ago because it was right before we got married. And I think that's what I gotta do. I gotta at least stick to something where I don't eat breads for a significant period of time and then gradually bring them back in once I get down to a weight that I'm comfortable with and make sure I keep it in check, because I don't want to give it up forever. I love pastas, I love sandwiches, I love hamburgers, like all that shit, and I love bread. But it's all in moderation. The problem is 90% of my meals I'm eating some sort of breakfast, you're eating a breakfast sandwich. Lunch, you're eating some kind of fucking burger with a bun on it. Dinner, you're eating.
You know what the other
pasta.
killer is, Tom? It's not just bread. The killer for me is cheese. I'll enjoy a hamburger just as much as I enjoy a cheeseburger. But in my head, when I see the option for hamburger or cheeseburger, I go cheese every time. I don't need cheese. I fucking love cheese, though.
Yeah, me too. That's another down. Yeah,
cheese
dairy
is a fucking killer for us.
Dairy is not really good for you.
Nah.
See, but on a keto diet, you want fat because what you're doing is you're training your body to burn fat instead of carbs for energy. Cheese has lots of fat in it, so it's actually not bad to do that. But again, I don't think dairy is the greatest thing to be putting in your and I'm not a big milk guy anyway, unless I'm eating fucking ice cream. Like I don't eat cereal because I don't like milk. The only time I drank a lot of milk was when I was eating a sleeve of Oreos a night. You know what I mean?
Oh, I recall.
Yeah, good times. We should go back to doing that. Anyway, Pat, let's get the fuck out of here, huh?
All right. Tommy, number niners, guys and dolls.
Oh, hey, listen.
Hold the fuck on. What's up?
Miss Jimmy G, if you have listened to this show, like you said you were gonna, I want you to send us an email, the9podcast@gmail.com.
Send us an email. Up in Canada.
Or Pat up in Canada. Actually, anybody that was on a trip, if you guys send me an email saying that you listened to the latest episode or any episode, I will send you free merch. I have a whole bunch of it. I got fucking stickers, t-shirts. I might have a couple of hats left. It's just fucking sitting here. We haven't done shit with it. I will gladly send it to you. Tell your friends, tell your family. Not every episode's like this. We do talk about a lot of random shit. It's usually shit in the news. Make sure you're going and following us on Twitter at @9pod, on Twitch, twitch.tv/N09media or N09 gaming, and obviously YouTube, number 9 with Tommy podcast. But yeah, send us an email. You can go to our website to send us a message as well, number9podcast.com. And I would love to send out you guys some free merch. Mrs. Jimmy G, I will definitely send some for you and Barb, and your husband if you want. So yeah, let us. I definitely want to know if you guys listen to the show.
We did actually talk about shit in the media today. It was the #MePoo movement. It was Amber Heard shit that we talked about today.
Yeah, #MePoo. All right, Pat, you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, I say good day.